The Anthem of the Seas is Royal Caribbean's colossal billion-dollar new cruise ship built to sleep, feed and entertain 4,900 paying passengers plus another 1,500 crew. I was invited along with my son Arthur, 2,000 travel agents and 100 journalists to go on its inaugural voyage, 48 hours sailing back and forth from Southampton to the Isle of Wight. The general idea is that cruising is no longer for oldies, but is for fun-seeking families, couples, everyone. As it had never occurred to me to go on a cruise before, I was a bit uncertain about it, but the prospect of 2 days of freeloading and loafing proved too hard to turn down.
Very nice.
A big selling point is that this is a smart ship. Everything is high-tech. All passengers wear a wow band that lets you into your room, pays for drinks, and when you touch it on any of the iPads around the ship, reminds you of the activities that you've signed up for. The company boasts that Wi-Fi on board is better on half the other cruise ships in existence put together.
Oh, cool. Oh, great.
How many been?
That means that if you're bored with the activities, you can always sit on the dinky sofa in your tiny room or on the balcony and stream movies on your phone. So it's 10 to 7 Monday evening. We have been incarcerated on Anthem of the Seas now for about 10 hours. Have just been to the naming ceremony in which we had a Welsh boys choir, some bagpipes, we have the cast of We Will Rock You, and assorted other randomers all singing and speaking, as well as a rabbi and a priest. Alleluia, this ship has a name, and it's time for us to go out and have dinner and wonder which of the 20 restaurants on board we fancy eating in. My vote is with Japanese. Earlier that day, we'd been introduced to a couple of the themed restaurants, including Wonderland, a mad Alice in Wonderland type place where all the food is magic in some way.
Bite into it, it explodes in your mouth. That is great.
And Silk, a Pan-Asian restaurant where it's rather less magic. Knock, knock. Drinking on board is almost bigger than eating. There are bars from Michael's Genuine Pub to the Sky Bar, where drinks are fixed by real people, to the biggest attraction, a bar where the drinks are mixed by robots. It's early days, but when I tried it, the robots turned out to be messier than humans and rather more generous. A single vodka turned out to be a quadruple. It's 12 o'clock on Tuesday and I've spent a morning in the spa lying on a white towel while a beautician gave me what I guess was a smart facial, which involved lots of gadgets with red flashing lights which were burning up my dead cells and blue LEDs that were supposed to be calming my skin, followed by a layer of pure oxygen squirted over my face, the point of which was supposedly to discourage bacteria. But you can judge for yourself what you think the result looks like. I think my skin feels softish, but for 190 quid, not so sure. Still, here in the background is something that I am sure about, which is fabulous, fabulous weather. I never knew that the English Channel could be this gorgeous, especially not in April. It seems rather a shame to be inside doing all of the activities when it's so lovely outside. But that's what all of the travel agents are happily doing. Though it occurs to me that if the weather wasn't like this, I'm not sure how happy I would be, possibly feeling incredibly claustrophobic in my cabin, or in my stateroom, as they prefer to call it. I'm in stateroom number 11,268, which gives you a rough scale of things. Anyway, off now to find some lunch. There's so much to do on the boat that keeping up with it all is hard work. The Seaplex at the stern of the ship provides an arena for all manner of entertainment. Arthur and I tried our hand at the dodgems, but you can also roller skate, play basketball, or even take part in a circus workshop here. Elsewhere, there's a vast spa, a gym, a casino, a theatre, as well as any number of pool and football tables and video games. Outside on deck, there's rock climbing, swimming in a choice of half a dozen pools, and a flow rider, so that you can surf a fast artificial wave when the boat is sailing on a non-existent real one. Most extreme is a skydive simulator, which, somewhat reluctantly, I tried out.
God.
It's now 4:45 on Tuesday afternoon, and I've retreated to the stateroom for a bit of relaxation after a pretty shattering afternoon, which began with a trip up the North Star, which is this crane thing that lifts you 300 feet above sea level so you can see all around. In a way, that's wonderful, but actually, if all you can see is at the horizon sort of looks the same at sea level as it does from 300 feet up in the air. So I wasn't altogether convinced by that. But we did get a view of the ship itself in all of its magnificent multicoloured splendour, with lots of people down below having quite a jolly time.
Fire detection system, you have...
We visited the bridge and the captain to hear about how the gigantic vessel is controlled, which was both baffling with so much technology and evidence and a bit scary.
You asked me earlier, what do I do with this one? This is not launching any missiles or anything like that. This is actually how you can control the ship.
So I can steer the ship just by going like that?
Yes, you can.
It's absolute computer game heaven,
yes,
isn't it?
Absolutely. There's a little
Amazing.
joystick over there which you can go over and you can steer the ship.
Will the computer do it better than you do it yourself?
I will not say that we are at the point where she is so smart that that we can just leave you alone on the bridge and you think that you're going to go to Guernsey or Jersey. That's
Ladies and gentlemen, the stowaway piano player. Isn't that fabulous?
Right, Tuesday evening after a marathon of various different entertainments. First of all, We Will Rock You in the All Singing, All Dancing Theatre. Oh God. Not quite good enough, awful old musical, slightly out of tune, Queen songs, truly grim. Luckily the evening picked up after that. We went to dinner at Wonderland, hosted by the VP who's in charge of international operations and a random crew of hacks. The dinner was sort of ridiculous but kind of fun, with the whole liquid lobster, reconstituted olives, dish after dish after dish that sort of left you feeling both sick and full of admiration at the same time. Wildly enthusiastic woman describing the courses, so sort of fun. Building up to the cabaret. Now the cabaret has been practically my favourite thing the whole in the whole cruise. Truly creative. People coming out from the ceiling and the floor and all of the dancing screens in the background, everything from the Beatles, sort of hippie Indian Within Without You, as you've never seen it before, to all sorts of groovier number, drums, saxophone, whimsical African woman looking for treasure, and then suddenly they're all rap dancing. Wildly over the top but brilliantly done. I've now copped out, but there's further stand-up comedy. All the travel agents are quite sedate. I mean, no one too drunk. They're teetering around in 12-inch heels, and everyone having a nice time. But I'm going to bed now because we're being kicked off the ship starting from 6:30 a.m. After nearly 48 hours, I was ready to return to the tedium of ordinary life. Cruising isn't for me. But then, that's not surprising, as it's not aimed at me. Nevertheless, I left feeling profoundly impressed that so much can be offered so cheerfully to so many thousands of people simultaneously. A feat of coordination and service that must be pretty hard to pull off. Arthur's verdict was even more enthusiastic. Ploughing up and down the English Channel on Anthem of the Seas, he declared, was a lot better than any of the grotty family holidays he'd ever been taken on. Lucy Kellaway, Financial Times, Southampton.